Here we go. A U.S. citizen dragged out of his house naked by ICE agents. Put it up full mask. These are the ones we know about. We're doing the best we can to cover them appropriately so that light can be shined in these places. And remember, the light is you. Information, wisdom, sharing knowledge. Here it is. It's an elderly man. Put it up full mask again. ICE forced an elderly man from his home without clothes in sub-freezing weather. That man is ChongLy Thao of Minnesota. ChongLy states that agents pointed guns at his family and his 4-year-old grandson, and they cried as they watched. He is, in fact, an American citizen. He has no criminal record, and this never should have happened, period. Federal immigration agents forced open a door and detained a U.S. citizen in his home at gunpoint without a warrant, then led him out on the streets in his underwear in sub-freezing condition. ChongLy Thao told the AP that his daughter-in-law woke him up from a nap on Sunday afternoon and said the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were banging at the door of his residence in St. Paul. He told her not to open it. Masked agents then forced their way in and pointed guns at the family, yelling at them, he recalled. Thao, who has been a U.S. citizen for decades, should have been no mix-up here, said that he was being detained. He asked his daughter-in-law to find his identification, but the agents told him they did not want to see it, something that has become common in the response from officers known as ICE. Instead, as his 4-year-old grandson watched and cried, Thao was led out in handcuffs wearing only sandals and underwear with just a blanket wrapped around his shoulders. ChongLy Thao stated, quote, "I was shaking. They didn't show any warrant. They just broke down the door," end quote. Thao said agents drove him to the middle of nowhere, made him get out the car in the frigid weather so they could photograph him. He said he feared they would beat him. He was asked for his ID, which agents earlier prevented him from retrieving. Agents eventually realized that he was a U.S. citizen with no criminal record, Thao said. And an hour or two later, they brought him back to his house. There, they made him show his ID and then left without apologizing for detaining him or breaking his door. Thao said, "I have more to this story. As tragic as it was, what he went through and his family had to endure, witness, a 4-year-old child as bad as that is, teenage Black children have been treated the same way in these hot spots for ICE. They have been taken into custody via an ICE vehicle, driven to an undisclosed location. Some of them, according to the report, were abandoned at the undisclosed location and had to figure out how to get back home. So at least they brought Mr. Thao back to his family. ChongLy Thao is planning to file a civil rights lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security. Sharon, I have more, but I want to get your thoughts so far as to the tragic reality of ICE seemingly now open to violating the rights of American citizens who have absolutely no interaction requirement with an ICE agent.
The laws don't matter, the rules don't matter. It's what this dictator says. And this is the part, Doc, where, and I've said it before, your heart's perhaps bigger than mine. I don't want reconciliation with these people. I don't. I don't want anything to do with these people. They are the worst of America. And by the way, they represent America's roots. And it's time to tell the truth about all of it and stop parsing it. This is America, just like the song. This is exactly what we're doing until we stop doing it. Whose country is it? If you really believe it's ours, it's time to actually take it back. This is despicable.
Yeah.
And it's America.
Yeah. Now, there's this other side. As I said before, listen, these folks won't win. Okay? They won't win. They never do. They never do. What we have to do is make sure that we don't give up the fight of right. That's all. So understand this. There are people who are now banding together in Minnesota and other places in order to provide exacting help. So meanwhile, thousands of individuals in Minneapolis have decided to join efforts to help. This is a church-run effort to deliver donated groceries to immigrants who are afraid of being targeted by federal agents. As thousands of federal agents have flooded streets in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area to round up and deport undocumented immigrants, Sergio Amezcua, 46, has mobilized his church and organized free grocery deliveries to help people stay safely inside of their homes. An effort that started with a couple of hundred deliveries a week quickly swelled into a vast operation involving thousands of volunteers who have signed up at the church to pack boxes with donated grocery items and make deliveries. He said that so far the church has received almost 25,000 requests for grocery deliveries through an online request form. Since the program started, he said there have been 14,000 deliveries. We're going to put the link to this ministry and this effort in the description of the video. And if you're able to, if you can, we encourage you to be supportive of all humanitarian efforts, especially those that hit close to home. Sometimes you cannot know the hero that you are until you're faced with an actual villain. And I'm sure that a whole lot of these folks who are making these deliveries did not believe that one day they would be a hero to families all over that city and beyond. But that's exactly what they are.
Hey, Doc.
Sometimes the villain defines you in ways that no one else can. And that's where we are. Sharing thoughts.
I'm sorry, Doc. I hope I didn't interrupt, but in fairness, this is America too.
Yeah.
I've just loved the way you gave the information on this story, the reality. You told the truth, like you always do. But it's a reminder to all of us, including people like me, that there is actually a path forward. More of this together. This is America too.
That's right. That's right. At a crossroad, perhaps, but still there.